For a lot of kids, the school day doesn't end when the bell rings. While extracurricular activities can be great for building skills and confidence, researchers say there can be a tipping point too.
One recent analysis found that when kids' days get too packed with homework and enrichment activities, the extra time may be doing more hurt to their mental well-being. Alexa Lorenzo reports.
School, sports, clubs, lessons, homework, repeat. For a lot of kids, busy has become that default.
Too much of something that is really good for us can be harmful as well.
Extracurriculars can absolutely be good for kids. They can build confidence, skills, friendships, and routine. The problem is when the calendar gets so packed, there's no room left for rest, free play, family time, or even sleep. Overscheduling kids can lead to burnout. A recent study examined the link between mental health and the number of activities kids participated in. Researchers found those who spent more time in extracurricular activities were more likely to struggle with anxiety, depression, and anger.
Children who have really tight schedules and always on the go, they don't learn how to slow down and be present in the moment.
Some signs your child is overscheduled: they're more moody than usual, or they feel anxious or lose interest in things they once loved. Some kids have physical symptoms like stomach aches, headaches, or trouble sleeping, and their grades might slip. So what should you do? First, schedule some unstructured time.
When they come home, maybe having a couple hours downtime where they can do interactive play.
Also, model resting yourself so your child recognizes the importance of slowing down, because sometimes the most important thing a child needs isn't another activity, it's a little room to breathe. Alexa Lorenzo, WGEM News.